Hi, welcome back to the channel. I have moved, and thus that is the reason why there has not been a video in a couple of weeks, and I apologize for that. Also, because I have moved, I am trying out different filming locations. Today it's this filming location, next video it might be a different filming location. I don't know what I'm doing yet in terms of where I'm going to film my videos, but don't question it for the next little bit until I kind of have something kind of figured out. But today I would like to discuss the journey that I had getting from Illinois to South Carolina. Because it was a doozy for the first 5 to 6 hours. And it was a supposed to be 12-hour journey. It turned into a 14-hour journey. So, love that. So, first things to note is I have a cat. You have probably heard of him in my videos. He's either on the floor, meowing, being a menace in the background. You've all seen him. But I'll introduce him to you. His name is Oreo. He's 4. And he is my little baby. Now, one thing to note about moving with an animal, specifically a cat, everyone and their uncle will tell you you need to give them meds when you drive a long distance. I, thinking I knew better than everybody, I thought I knew my little Oreo better than everybody else, thought to myself, he's done good in like car rides for like over an hour. He's done good in car rides for 25 minutes. He's done good in car rides for like 2 hours. He's fine. I also, another reason why I said no to the meds and Benadryl and every other option I was presented with by people was I did my own research, and the research said that either they get really drowsy and go to sleep, which is the preferred method, or, and this is what scared me, they get very, very hyper. They shit themselves. They basically scream up a storm more so than if they were not on meds. And I was turned off the minute I read that side effect. I was like, I already know he's probably going to shit himself anyways in the carrier, but I'd rather it be just from his own stress than it being from a medication side effect. So we get in this car, and we leave at like 5 or 6 in the morning. And we were on the road for 14 hours, like I said. But the first 3 hours, he was just a consistent meow, and then fell asleep. Woke up, consistent meow, fell asleep. Consistent meow, fell asleep. And then around hour 3.5, he started like yanking at his gate on his carrier with his claws and nails. And that was where I felt the most bad. And so like I was driving with my mom, and so I felt bad in the sense of maybe I should have gotten meds, maybe I should have just sucked it up and did the Benadryl. Because like my mom was the one driving, so I felt terrible that he was being really annoying. But I was also in the back of my head being like, he'll tire himself out. Around hour 5, I decide I'm gonna take him out of his carrier, because we had pulled off to like the side of the road, or to like a pit stop, and I went to go check on him, and he had hit the grate of his carrier so bad that he had destroyed 2 of his nails. Like, they were all the way down to like here, and it was like dried blood. So I felt horrible and decided I'm just gonna hold him. I don't care that this is a clown car that we have going on right now. I don't care that he's screaming. I don't care that it's probably not safe for him to be in the front seat. being held and having to stay in that one position, I didn't want him in his carrier anymore. I felt terrible. So I take him out of his carrier and I hold him for like an hour and a half. And we also discovered around this time that the reason, another reason that he was probably clawing in his gate and screaming, was he shit himself. And so, hang on. So he has this blanket that was given to me when I got him from the foster family. And it's this really cute Mickey socks blanket, you know, whatever. Yeah. He shit all over it. And, like, he shit all over it, and then he, like, realized what he did. And so he kicked it all the way to the back of the carrier. So the carrier was basically just the plastic at the bottom, and then this shoved at the back. And that was another reason why I said, I'm just going to hold him. So I hold him for the next, like, hour and a half. We stopped for lunch at McDonald's. I tried to be nice and tried to give him some of my fries, a chicken nugget, you know, whatever, to see if maybe he would eat something. And one thing to note about Oreo is he does not care for human food, like, at all. He does not care. Has no interest in even sniffing it, smelling it, stealing it, nothing. He is very much a kibble kitty, and that is it. He won't even touch wet food. But I tried to give him a fry, I tried to give him a chicken nugget, he had no interest. And then after lunch, I decided that I was going to put him back in his carrier. We had another blanket in the car, so we ended up shoving that in there instead. And we put him in there, and I decided to hold his carrier in the front seat for the rest of the journey. And this was maybe hour 6, I want to say. And he conked out. He was quiet as a mouse. He slept when he wasn't sleeping. He was wide awake but was making no noise. And was perfectly content for the rest of the journey, which was very nice. But yeah, it was a journey, to say the least, and I am just very happy we made it here in one piece. Nobody had a excruciating headache. Nobody got severely injured. And he's basically back to normal. He's eating, he's sleeping, he's being a little menace at like 6 in the morning. Thank God it's not at 4 in the morning anymore. Yeah. All I gotta say is, moral of the story, no matter what you think about your kitty, if you think your cat is the most calmest cat in the world, if you think your cat is the most unique and most perfect and whatever, if somebody gives you the advice to give them Benadryl, meds, or prescription something to get them through a journey of more than 3 hours, take them up on it. That's all I gotta say. See you in the next one, guys.